Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything that you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. There's a 3 of discs. All right, that is some very hard-working energy. So let's put that into some context, okay? Let's see what you are working on and what you need to know about this situation. Okay, Path of the Dove, Path of the Serpent here. Wow, it's all water energy over here. This is really kind of unique. We've never had a Path of the Serpent that is literally all water, which makes up for the fact that it's all kind of fire and earth and air over here. Okay, so that adds a nice kind of counterbalance. It's almost like this is our outrigger here, you know. Let's do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and for that we're using the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're going to select one card, we're going to set it aside, put the frog on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end, okay? And we're going to see if that might tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. So, we've got major, major, major. We've got some air and some earth. We've got water. We've got some court cards, but it's all water over here, okay? So let's start out with this 3 of discs. This is a lot of work. This is trying to keep every component of your work spinning at the same rate. Okay, this is a lot of effort to keep everything kind of in balance, keep everything running smoothly. I think that you are someone who is about to receive a lot of recognition for the work that you do. Okay, I feel like you're doing something that literally is groundbreaking, something that is, I think, really going to help the world, humanity. I think it's something that is designed to maybe raise the collective consciousness of the earth, right? It's something for which you have been working very diligently to refine. You've been like increasing your knowledge on it. You've been really trying to hone your skills. It's not something one day you just woke up and said, I'm going to do it. I think you've been working very hard at it for a long time. Okay, we see a lot of that, a lot of this earth energy. In fact, the horizontal plane here, the horizontal axis of the Path of the Dove, is all earth energy. It's all hard work. Right? You've had to develop the skill and learn and refine. You've had to make mistakes and continue on, learn every step of the way, right? And luckily we have that Hierophant energy right behind you. This is pushing you forward. This is you really trying to get better at what you do. This is some of that Taurus energy, right, that we all need once in a while, that is just nose to the grindstone, working hard, but working smart, right? Working hard and making mistakes so that we can learn and then not work as hard, right? Not have to struggle through the same things is what I mean. So we continue to refine the work that we do and get better and better. New skills, new knowledge. Maybe you're specializing in something. Maybe it's you've already had an education and now you're kind of you're kind of narrowing your focus down to some kind of a specialty or something like that. Or you're taking your skills and your education and your knowledge to the next level where you're doing something very, like I said, groundbreaking and innovative. Now, we see groundbreaking and innovative down here with this Eon card. This is a new Eon. This is stepping out of the old and into the new. So it is like an innovation, right? Or an invention, or something that is I mean, literally groundbreaking. This is all the ground here. And this is the kind of hot, lava that's starting to force its way through. And this is something that is going to change the view, okay? It's going to change the landscape. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm very curious now. I think that you are, maybe you've always known that this was your future. You didn't quite know how it was going to come about, how you were going to do it, what you would have to do, what it would take for you to do this. But I think you always had this kind of an inkling of what your life would become, right? So I think you are meant for great things. I think this card is saying that the great things are on their way. It's really changing things, not only for the world and for the whatever industry you're in, but for you, for your life, for your future, for your family, your loved ones, everything that you care about. All of this water on the path of the serpent here. It's a lot of water. Now, looking at these cards, the Hermit in the immediate future, you may have always thought of your life as being kind of solitary, that maybe you were just like the kind of hermit or monk or the wizard that would just be kind of in their laboratory doing this work. That would be your life. It would be kind of a solitary existence. It would be maybe a lot of solitude. Maybe you felt like you weren't really part of the world, but you were doing this very important work for the world. It's kind of that motif. But I wonder if this isn't changing because of, yes, this water energy. Because of the connections that we seem to be making with all of this work that we're doing. It's not only a way for you to be of service to the world and help the world and do something groundbreaking and innovative for the benefit of humanity, right? But it's also something that's going to reconnect you with that humanity, okay? You're finding something within you that, maybe we thought was lost, maybe we didn't think was ever really there. But what I think it is, yes, the water energy. All of this water energy. Because the water energy is not here. This is very practical. This is very, very inspired. We see even some fire coming down in the form of this Knight of Swords. And yes, this is air energy, but it's got that tinge of fire to it with the Knight, right? The Knight of Swords. So there's a little bit of fire here too. And this is a real spiritual inspiration. This is the ideas that come down to you. It's almost like you receive these like downloads of information, of inspiration, and then your work is to manifest it, to figure out how to put all of this together to give it to the world, to bring humanity into the next phase of our kind of collective evolution, right? And I think that's your work. And I think it is a very kind of lonely work. It's a very solitary work. But you have this connection that you're making with the work itself, with your own soul, your own spirituality. So it's kind of like it's kind of the outrigger, right? It's kind of what is keeping us stable. Because this here by itself is not permanently sustainable. This isn't something that can really stand on its own. We need this connection with ourselves, with our work, with humanity. And this is what sustains us. This is what keeps us from, capsizing, right? So there's a lot going on over here. And the first thing is, this, I think, is representing you giving your gift to the world, okay? And what that does to you, how that makes you feel, right? It gives you this sense of accomplishment, of love, of joy, of beauty, of satisfaction. To be able to give this, right, the inspiration, the innovation that you are working on in your laboratory here and, providing something that's going to help to push humanity along in our collective evolution. You're giving that to the world and it really feels good. Plain and simple. It's a great experience, okay? So we've got this Knight of Cups here. And then we also have this here, Prince of Cups. Now, the Prince of Cups is more like your interface with humanity, right? Your interface with the world, with your environment, with your loved ones, your friends, your family, your pets, your plants, right? Your people. And this is trying to kind of wash the window in a way, right? It's usually this card is about one sort of exterior, the facade, right? The exterior, the aluminum siding, right? The panels and the whatever, the signage. And then the interior, which is completely different. No one gets to come in. No one really gets to see it. It's just kind of ours. It's in there. It's mostly this stuff. But it's just, it's like a window that is just kind of showing what we want people to see. It's like a screen that we wear, right? That reminds me of a 21 Pilots song, oddly enough. So the object here, I think, for you is to kind of clear this window out, to turn the screen off, and just to make the window a little bit more transparent, right? Let people in, to connect on people, let people see who you are. Express yourself outwardly in an authentic way, right? To have those authentic connections with other people, because again, this card's in your environment. So I feel like we're trying to polish up the interface between ourselves and the world. We're trying to clean the screen, so to speak, right? I think that's an important part of the work for you. Now, whoops, this is a slippery one. This is what we don't want, Four of Cups. And this could be why we've been just avoiding the connections. We've been avoiding kind of the water energy for a while now, because we don't want the mundane, the basic, the boring, the very trivial social interactions and mores. We don't want, like, how's the weather, we don't want that, right? Maybe we're not good at that. Maybe it has no appeal to us. That kind of baseline, very basic, kind of bland, right? Social interactions, just the everyday, the people that aren't really on our frequency. They're not on our wave, right? So we avoid that. And again, this is the card that we don't want. We don't want this kind of interaction. We want to, talk about, philosophy and metaphysics and science and just things that go above and beyond the just kind of basic, how's the weather, was there traffic today? That sort of thing, okay? So we don't want this. We'd rather just stay here focused on our own interests, our own work, and indirectly contribute to humanity, whatever our work is that we're doing, rather than having to interface with people in this kind of way, right? Because this is not an inspiring way, So this is what we don't want. But what we're going to get, Nine of Cups. Now, a Nine of Cups is finding the joy and beauty and pleasure and the connections with people that are on your wavelength. This is the pursuit of happiness. And this is really part of our outrigger. This is the most important part of the outrigger, right? The part that's, up front, I guess. And it is kind of what is leading everything else. And this is our desire, our need to be complete, to be whole, to have the inspiration and the innovation and the excitement and the challenge and, this energy here, but then to also have the connections with people, the interactions, the interfacing that is more authentic, right? That does not have to be filtered through this screen, or we don't want to feel like we have to present a certain persona. We just want to be ourselves, right? And that's one component in your overall happiness. So the final card here is saying you're going to be pursuing your happiness is a tremendous prediction, right? Because it's showing that your happiness is not just in the work that you're doing, and maybe in this kind of hermit energy, kind of scientist in the laboratory, is not really making you tremendously happy. We need the water energy. We need the other side of it. We need to see people and interact with them and connect with them, right? But people that are on our own wavelength, that are tuned into our frequency, right? As much as possible. So I think the Nine of Cups is really is showing the potential that you have, not just for your work goals, your work achievements, but for your spiritual, your emotional achievements and progress and connections that I think are very important to you, even though we've been maybe rejecting them because of the Four of Cups, because we don't want that, and we don't have a lot of time to waste on those kinds of interfaces. But let's go to the mystery card now. I'm curious what this might reveal to us. I'm going to go ahead and bring it over here. Now, the mystery card. Maybe some sort of a blending together, maybe showing this kind of everything coming together in one holistic entity. You know, it could be a six of something, could be an art or a temperance card. It could be an empress, really, you know. Maybe a 10 of something, though I'm not really feeling a 10. I'm feeling more a 6 than anything else. But let's find out. Well, it's a Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. This is Earth of Earth. So more Earth. But I feel like this is, you know, you trying new things. This is a card that kind of says you're never going to know unless you try. You know. And we've got all of this earth energy over here that we're dealing with, but it's kind of like the hermit. And we're just telling the hermit, hey, you're never going to connect with people if you don't go out and just try to connect with people. Yeah, it may be bland and boring most of the time, or it may be frustrating, or maybe we're socially awkward, maybe we have anxiety, but we're never going to be more comfortable unless we are at first uncomfortable, right? Challenging yourself, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations is how you become comfortable in those situations, right? It forces you to grow, forces you to mutate, right? So I think that's what this card is really saying, that look, the potential is unlimited, but we have to be willing to put ourselves out there and allow ourselves to be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, because that's how we're going to grow. Interesting message today. I'm excited for what you're doing. I'm very curious about it. And I'm curious also how you are going to deal with all of this water energy. Because I think there is a real desire to connect with people. It could just be that we don't have a lot of experience doing that, and we're so wrapped up in these other things that we don't take the time to develop this part of ourselves very well, you know. But we are going to do an extended, and if you would like to stick around, just click on the link up there. That'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Aquarius, but for all of the zodiac signs. Okay? I want to thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.